Between 1966 and 1967, Point Pleasant, West Virginia was plagued with sightings of a weird winged creature. What was it? And what did it have to tell about the oncoming threats coming to the area? Join us today as we look into the Mothman.
Welcome back to
Unknown,
Unsolved
unseen.
Triple U.
Woohoo!
The Mothman. There is only one.
Yep. Now, welcome back, everyone, to, I believe, episode 39. It should actually be on my title. Yep, episode 39. So, today, well, actually, before we get anything, I'm Frank,
I'm Sage.
and we're your hosts
We are.
with the most. So, real quick announcements, just upcoming events. We got stuff like the West Virginia Bigfoot Festival in Sutton. We got the Roswell UFO Festival, and some other things. Go check out our Instagram, because by the time this is released, the Windy City Pear Fest is over, so you don't have to hear my spiel on that every week. Same with Saucers over Appalachia and the Grafton Monster Festival. It's quite a week this weekend. Well, quite a weekend for events.
Yeah.
So, to get into things today, we're going to be talking about something many of you have some level of familiarity with. And if you don't, well, that's on you. Today, we'll be talking about the Mothman.
The Mothman.
The man, the moth, the legend.
Oh.
What?
I was going to wear my Mothman shirt. My new one.
Oh, yeah, I forgot
that
you.
says live, laugh, lurk. It has the Mothman on it.
See, I have a Mothman shirt that our one friend got us that says, Mothman stole my Cadillac converter in Point Pleasant, West Virginia. Or I forget if it says Point Pleasant, or it might just say, Mothman stole my Cadillac converter.
Do you even know what that is?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't.
It's a part on a car.
Well, I knew that. Of course, but I was asking if you knew what it did.
It converts stuff.
All I know is that there's a possibility that mine has gone out in my car or will go out soon. So.
Oh, you'll learn next week.
Woo.
All right. Well, today we'll be heading to the small city of Point Pleasant, West Virginia, to look into the mysterious Mothman and the surrounding areas.
Alrighty. Take us there.
Sage, before we get into things, do you know anything about Mothman?
I do. He's probably one of the cryptids that I know more about. I'm not 100% sure on the specific sightings of him, but I do know the legends of bridges collapsing, or things happening whenever he's seen. Usually his presence is the fortune telling that something not so great is going to happen. I also know that there's a really incredible statue in which Mothman is absolutely caked up.
Hey, I won't talk about that later.
And I know that it's a phenomenon where there's people who really like to dress up as Mothman on the internet and make really hilarious videos. So.
All right. Well, that's a good summarization of the Mothman. You ready to get into this?
I am.
All right. To get started, I'm going to have to get some background on Point Pleasant, West Virginia. You good with that?
Yep.
Oh, no, it looks like our child, Atlas, is coming down here to join us. Hi, Atlas. So, Point Pleasant, West Virginia is located on the western edge of West Virginia, originally the western edge of Virginia, and it's bordering Ohio. It is at the point where Ohio and Kanawha, I think that's how I say it, rivers meet. So as of 2020, the population is 4,101 people in the city, but we're going to be focusing on the 1960s, and the 1960 census had the population at 5,785. So it's slowly been going down over the years. It's lost that's a little over 1,600 people since then.
I'm kind of surprised, I guess, that it was going down, like with the legend that surrounds the area.
Well, if you think about it, it's a place that I'll go into it. It's a place that used to be heavy on industry, especially in World War II. And as times went on, not everything updated there, and people
Mm.
started to move out. I mean, you look at when we go to a town in West Virginia that my dad grew up in. You've driven through it with us before. You can tell that it used to be a place with a huge steel mill in it, and since the mill has greatly reduced in size, so has the population of the area, and you're kind of left with, higher rates of poverty, less income, less job opportunities, so people move out.
Yeah. If you're hearing something in the background, that would be our ice maker making ice.
Yeah, hopefully you can't hear it. All right, so Point Pleasant was given the name by a famous man, actually, in 1770. What famous person that you know of in 1770 do you think could name this place?
Um, I'm really bad with history. George Washington.
Yes.
Wow, that was my only. That's the only person I remember from that time period.
Yeah, that's why I said you'd know the person. So he camped out there while surveying French and Indian War grants, and he had named it Point Pleasant. 4 years later, in 1774, the Battle of Point Pleasant occurred. This was a battle between the forces of the Shawnee Chief Cornstalk, and that is his actual name, Chief Cornstalk. That's not like a bastardization by Westerners, and General Lewis. 3 years later, to quell hostilities in the area, Chief Cornstalk and his son traveled to Fort Randolph and Point Pleasant
How do you think he came up with the name Point Pleasant?
because it's along the river, so probably that's where you get point, and it probably looked pleasant. Pleasant,
Do you think their definition of pleasant was the same as our definition of
probably.
pleasant? Okay.
And this is George Washington's name, not the Native Americans.
Well, I figured the Native Americans have.
Different words,
I mean,
different language.
being from Pennsylvania, we have a lot of things that are named after Native American.
Not
Like
Point Pleasant though,
no.
because that's West Virginia. And it's not. But well, as I was saying, 3 years later, to quell hostilities, Chief Cornstalk and his son traveled to Fort Randolph and Point Pleasant to negotiate peace after two Shawnee members had been taken captive and were detained. However, peace was not the result that they got. As I said, they'd come as two Shawnee members had been detained and wanted to peacefully resolve the matter. During this time, uh, the Chief Cornstalk and his son were also detained as well, and an American militiaman was killed by a Shawnee Native American. In retaliation, Chief Cornstalk, his son, and two others were executed.
Wow.
Yeah. Some claim that this
I
put
forgot that's something that you could just like do.
just execute people, or
Yeah.
yeah,
Even though like really you can just do it because then that wars can start and
yep,
shit. But like I forgot that people could just go like kill each other because they didn't like each other.
yep. That's how things were back then. A
Whereas
lot more
like
than now.
today you can't just like go execute a family.
Yeah, but some claim this put a curse on the area. Some call it the curse of Chief Cornstalk, or just a curse. So who knows if there really was a curse or not in the area? Because I mean, as we know, not everything was so pleasant in Point Pleasant.
Yeah.
In 1794, the city of Point Pleasant was granted a charter by the Commonwealth of Virginia and became an official city of Virginia. Industry would move into the area and would become an important location for the war effort during World War II. The TNT factory would be a major producer for the military and major employer in the area. It would eventually close and be abandoned. In the area not too long after World War II. But this place, I guess, was high on the list. If like the Nazis or Japanese came to America, this was a major place to strike because of how much was being produced here.
Stay in. It's on the river, which is probably an easier way of accessing.
Yeah. The area was spread out with many bunkers, shaped like igloos that were both concealed and seen, labyrinths, power plants, everything. Like, it was a self-functioning area
How did they know that they were shaped like igloos?
because people can go there and see them now.
Oh, what are they made of?
Concrete. They're concrete bunkers.
Hmm.
Have you never seen a concrete, like, dome?
I am picturing what one in my head.
All right.
I'm
You're
trying.
You're giving me an interesting stare here.
I'm trying, but for some reason, I forgot that you mentioned that this was in the time of the Nazis, and I was like, 1700s. They had
Yep.
concrete.
We jumped to World War II.
I forgot.
So there were, as I said, manufacturing areas and laboratories there. All would be abandoned and then used to store chemical waste afterwards.
That's disgusting.
Totally a safe place to be around. To this day, the area is still being cleaned and decontaminated because
Wow.
significant decontamination needs to be done after putting that there. Like, any of the water in that area, you do not want to be in it. It's
That
not
doesn't
safe.
surprise me.
None of those ponds, none of that soil. It is not safe.
Isn't that like where that place that RFK Jr. swam in?
That's like wastewater, but still not safe.
Okay.
He went full into that water, and that's not safe.
It's like Chernobyl.
That's radioactive.
I know, but like these people still can't live there
Yeah,
because of that, and they will not be able to for hundreds of years.
yeah, it'll be some time. So that is probably the most relevant of the information to Point Pleasant. You ready to get into the Mothman?
Yes, let's do it.
So let's begin our dive into Mothman. The man, the myth, the moth. Or no, the man, the moth, the myth.
Is he a myth though? Is he really?
I don't know. Well, that's for the viewers to decide, or listeners to decide after today.
Okay. Do I get to decide too?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. We're going to start on November 12th, 1966. This is a lesser known encounter, actually. This happened in Clendenin, I think that's how you say it, Clendenin, West Virginia. This is about 70 miles southeast of Point Pleasant. There were 5 men at the local cemetery prepping a grave for an upcoming funeral. They, however, saw something strange while out there. In the trees was what they described as a brown human being. It took off from the tree and flew over them. They said it was more like a man with wings than a bird. Not long after, Point Pleasant would begin to have its fateful year of the Mothman.
So it started in an area that wasn't Point Pleasant?
That's the first sighting.
And are they all brown?
You'll see there's a variety here of things. I found a website that's full of like almost every single sighting, and it's insane how many there were. Some are like bird-like, some are man-like, some are more UFO.
I was gonna say, like, that's not a description that I'm necessarily familiar with because I guess I recognize him as being black.
Well, I mean, think we'll see one recurring theme here is that most sightings are at night.
I guess
At
that's
night,
fair.
burning my hand at night. You know what I'm referencing?
No.
The SpongeBob episode where he works at night.
Oh.
Seeing cryptids at night. So that's the first Mothman sighting. It's a notable-ish one, but the next sighting is the one that started all the craze.
Hmm.
We're going to start. We're going to go to November 15th, 1966. 4 young teens, all 2 married couples, were driving around the TNT area.
Wait, hold on. 4 young teens or 2 married couples?
Okay, well, they're teens. They're like 19.
But they're married.
Yes.
So they're not young teens.
Oh, they're young people. Sorry. Young people
Young
who are
adults?
teens. They're still teens.
No. Well, you're an adult when you're 18.
Everyone refers to them as teens.
Then no, that's stupid.
All right. 2 married couples who are teens.
19 to be specific.
You know what? I think they might be 18, 19, maybe some 17. I forget. I actually did not write down their ages on this one.
Hopefully not 17. Without parent permission.
This is the 60s, and no
Didn't
offense,
mean that
this
they
is
didn't
West
need.
Virginia.
Didn't mean that they didn't need permission.
All right. The two young couples were Roger and Linda Scarberry and Steve and Mary Mallet. I think that's Mallet, Mallete.
Mallete.
Te. Mallet?
Malete.
Mallet? Mallet? I don't know.
Is it two e's in the end?
No.
Oh.
Well,
Well,
as
I
they.
would say Malate, maybe.
All right.
I don't know. We're terrible with the names.
Yeah. Oh, I don't think I'll say that name again. As they drove past the TNT area, they saw something strange. The first thing,
Something strange.
yeah, like the Something Strange podcast that you people should also listen to as well. They saw something that was shaped like a man and was about 6 or 7 feet tall, gray, muscular, human like legs, bat like wings, and they were folded behind its back. It was standing outside the gates of an old abandoned power plant in the TNT area. They watched as it unfolded its wings and ascended vertically, and they sped off after seeing it, but encountered it again on a small hill. It unfolded its wings and ascended vertically again without beating the wings at all. It would chase the couple down the Interstate 62 to keep up, but eventually stopped pursuing as they got to the city. As they got to the city, they saw the body also of a large dog on the side of the road. What I believe it was Roger Scarberry noted. And whenever they went back out, they also no longer saw that body of the dog. And that's just a small detail.
Okay, so what you're saying is that he kind of took off like a superhero,
Basically, yeah. But his
where
wings
like he
were
went
out.
straight up, but he never flapped his wings to go up.
Yep.
So he just used the pressure of his launch to go up.
I guess I don't know the science behind launching and not.
Seems a little bit too supernatural.
We'll get into that stuff.
Okay. Also, like, what's the significance of this dog? Because
I'll bring it up.
I know, but I mean, I'm
I'll,
sure
I'll,
there's
I'll,
another
I'll,
explanation.
I'll talk about. I'll talk about.
Okay.
All right. Terrified, they would go to the sheriff's office to report what they had just encountered. They would recount the tale, which would then be shown in newspapers nationwide not long after. Officers would go to the TNT area and find nothing there. And they would then have a press conference the next day about this. The papers would describe a 6 foot tall man like thing with red eyes and wings. It would end up being described as more bird like than, moth like. It was reported that the police were investigating whatever this thing was. So, despite being the creature described as a more bird like, the following headline would be written: Bird, Plane, or Batman? Mason Countains hunt Mothman. And that's where Mothman came from.
Wow.
Could have been Batman, they said.
Batman didn't fly.
Who knows?
Batman doesn't have any powers. He just has a lot of money.
Why are you hating on Batman?
What era of Batman was this?
60s.
But like what movies? Batman vs. Robin? Or
No,
Batman and Robin?
Batman and Robin TV show. Where they go like, pow, wham.
This is the really horrible one that you made me watch in high school.
Oh, I think that's Batman and Robin, the one where you got the nipples and the Bat credit card, and Arnold Schwarzenegger is the Mr. Freeze.
Yeah, what era is that?
That's like, I think, 90s.
Oh darn. I'm just curious what Batman they were basing this Mothman off of.
Well, they're basing it off of the villain Killer Moth. I believe it was.
Oh, I didn't know that was the thing.
Yeah, Batman has a lot of villains. There's even the Condiment King and Calendar Man.
Isn't there Poison Ivy?
Yeah, that's also a villain.
Mm-hmm.
But she's more popular. I was talking about random ass people that nobody knows about.
Yeah, that would be why I didn't know about them, but I did know about Poison Ivy.
So, for the following year, sightings would start to arise in the area. According to the police, over 1,000 people traveled to the area in search of the Mothman. Many would come armed with guns as well, ready to try and take down the winged creature.
That's so mean.
That
At
day,
this point, did they know that anything was happening from his presence? Like, they didn't put it
it
together?
was a scary flying humanoid thing.
Yeah, but did they put it together that he, like, was an omen
No,
for something bad to happen?
not at all.
Okay, then why do we
But
have to
there's
go
here
after him?
scared. Thing looks different. We gotta kill it.
Why don't we just ask it how it's doing?
Nope, kill it.
Do you think he's happy?
Mothman?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Darn.
You know, I just
I hope so. I hope so for you, Mothman.
we're going to get into the list of sightings here. I'm going to say one thing real quick. There are hundreds of sightings and
That's
hundreds
crazy.
of other kind of correlated sightings too. I'm going to be entirely honest here, guys. What this past week and how it's been, our dog did have to take an emergency trip to the vet. Yeah, he had some health problems, and that's kind of stressed us out and strained us. So I haven't been able to do as much research. I could have made this probably 2-3 hour episode if I wanted to, but
Maybe one day we can like come back and
go over this, yeah, because
yeah.
I want to let you know I'm going to go into quite a few sightings. Nothing, I mean, some of them more in detail, but there was everything in Mothman sightings. There was Mothman himself, big cryptid birds like thunderbirds.
Mothman Returns.
What?
Like, isn't there some Batman Returns?
Yeah.
I was going Mothman Returns.
Okay, I had no idea where you were going there, but
Oh,
you
well, come
got
on, I'm funny.
yeah. Sometimes I think I'm the funnier one.
Definitely.
Hell yeah! But I was saying, there's Mothman, big cryptid birds, Men in Black, UFOs,
Damn.
aliens, injured cold specifically,
Do they think that
ghosts,
Mothman?
poltergeist,
Do they think Mothman's an alien?
alien ghost, other dimensional being.
Alien ghost. How can that even?
I said I meant there's a comma there.
Oh, I was like, what do you mean, alien ghost? It
I mean,
doesn't
it
make any
could be
sense.
an alien ghost. That's what
Do you
Scientologists
think that
believe in.
aliens have ghosts?
I don't know. Well,
They have a afterlife?
according to Scientology, this is true. This is what they believe in. A bunch of ships, I believe, that look like Boeing 747s, dropped a bunch of frozen aliens into volcanoes on Earth, and their souls released, and that's, I guess, what became people. South Park did a really good summarization on it.
We should just do a whole episode on
No.
Scientology.
No, I don't feel like getting sued.
Oh, what if I wanted to be indoctrinated?
We can talk about Scientology's infiltration into like the FBI, which is a legitimate thing.
And Tom Cruise?
I don't want to talk about that and get in trouble.
Okay, allegedly Tom Cruise.
Allegedly.
Everything we say is alleged.
But did you know they actually like they infiltrated the FBI?
No, I had no idea.
Man, that was it was called Operation Snow White, and like op- Atlas.
Alice, I really appreciate that you're trying to talk to us about Scientology, but you're gonna have to relax.
Yeah, Operation Snow White, in case any of you are interested, like Atlas and Scientology. He might be a spy for them.
Uh-oh. They've infiltrated us. Oh no.
So, all right. Our first sighting we're going to go to is actually the night that the two couples saw Mothman. That same evening, there's actually another sighting. This happened at 10:30 in Salem, 90 miles from Point Pleasant.
Is Point Pleasant just like the central location between all of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Newell Partridge was watching TV. Suddenly, the TV went blank and a weird pattern was on the screen.
A weird pattern?
Yeah.
Did they say what it looked like?
No.
What the fuck?
I did not see that in the descriptions I read.
They just say it's a weird pattern.
Yeah, a weird pattern showed on television.
What would you interpret that as?
I don't know.
It's just so weird to me.
Some weird pattern. But he would then hear a loud whining sound outside that would raise and pitch and then end. This was followed by uh, Partridge's dog howling at something outside, so he went to see what was going on. Bandit was his dog, a German Shepherd, and he was facing Partridge's hay barn about 150 yards away. He got his flashlight and shined it over that way. He saw two red circles that he described as eyes or like bicycle reflectors. Bandit would chase after the red orbs in the darkness and not listen to Partridge as he called for him to stop. I wonder if that's like when your dog doesn't stop and you ask him to, huh?
Wouldn't have any idea our dog is the most well-behaved dog to ever exist on the planet.
True, our 6-month-old puppy totally listens every time.
He's just a teenager.
Just a baby.
Yes, just a baby teenager.
So Partridge would then go back inside to get his gun, but was too terrified then to go back out. He would go to sleep then that night with his gun propped next to him.
Aww.
And when he woke up, Bandit had not returned, and he had no idea what happened to him.
Bandit was Bandit the dog on the side of the road?
2 days later, he read the papers about the creature that was seen in Point Pleasant, and read about the body of the dog. He thought it could have been Bandit, who was never seen again. So some believe that Mothman took Bandit, killed him, and left him in Point Pleasant, and then came back for the body after chasing the young couple.
First of all, that's a lot of work for Mothman.
Yeah.
Second of all, though, this was not on doesthedogdie.com. And I feel gypped.
Whoops.
I feel like I've been gypped. You should have put a trigger warning for dog death.
Yeah, I probably should have. Should have, could have, would have, did it.
Especially when we have a little baby. How am I supposed to ever go on?
I keep him on a leash so no Mothman take him. If he's
Mothman
on
will just take you both.
Yeah, if Mothman's taking him, he's taking me too. I'm
Honestly.
going down with Atlas.
Or you could just leave Atlas.
No.
And let Mothman take you alone.
Okay, I would do that too. Atlas, you hear that? I'll sacrifice myself for you.
He's going to sacrifice himself.
No Mothman's taking Atlas on my watch without me.
Going with?
So, that's Newell Partridge's, which happened the same night as the other encounter, so a bit of a peculiar one, I must say.
It makes me so sad. The poor dog. Didn't deserve that.
Yeah. Now, we have two more very notable sightings. On November 16th, the day after the first big sighting, there was another notable one. 21-year-old Marcella Bennett, her 2-year-old daughter, Tina, her 19-year-old brother, Raymond Wamsley, and his 18-year-old wife, Kathy, were on their way to see Raymond and Marcella's sister, Virginia Thomas, who lived in the TNT area. So there are some people who lived in the area. Like, TNT areas encompass a large area.
It's shocking to me that these people are 21 with a 2-year-old and 19 and married. Those are babies.
Yeah,
we're not even like that far off.
I'm pretty sure a lot of stories are like young couples that are married that way or with kids that way.
Yeah, I mean that was the time. Like
yeah.
Getting married that young, but damn.
So they made it to the house, and Virginia Thomas, who lived there, was not there. Only her children were there, a 15-year-old and then 2 younger kids. So whenever there's no one there for some time, Raymond, Kathy, Marcella, and her 2-year-old daughter Tina were going to go back. So they decided to head back home, and they were heading to the car. At the bottom of the steps, Raymond saw something in the sky. It was around 9 p.m. in November, so it was darker out. He saw strange lights over the trees. He tried to show Marcella, but she didn't want to look as she carried her daughter to the car. However, she saw something out of the corner of her eyes as she unlocked the car. Something stood up from behind the car. First, she noticed its legs. They were like a man's legs, but with gray feathers on it.
And with a really nice ass.
It had wings that were drawn in towards the body.
That's a running theme.
What, like
the wings being drawn in?
Yeah, when it's on the ground. and it was over 6 feet tall, and the head was tilted sideways and was sunken in the shoulder area. Raymond and Kathy yelled at Marcella to turn around and run. She was paralyzed and eventually broke the trance from the shock. She then turned around to run, but fell down and landed on top of her daughter. Marcella got cut up and burned from her lit cigarette. She got cuts like on her arms, legs, and face.
Wow.
She eventually got up and into the house.
What
Now,
happened to the daughter?
she brought her daughter with her.
Okay.
As she did, she heard the flapping of wings as she was getting up and walking back while running to the house. They made it into the house and everyone was terrified. Also, I think it said there were red eyes too, but I forget if that was in this account. It's hard to find on some websites that were very good or not behind paywalls.
Makes sense.
Also, a lot of the good sources come from the Mothman Prophecies book by, I believe, John Keel, but I did not buy that book. Maybe we'll have to buy that book and do a whole episode on that.
Yeah, I think that would be cool.
So, they got into the house and they closed the door. And Raymond called the cops for them to get there fast, that something was attacking them. The creature got up to the porch and shuffled its way up and pressed on the door. It peered through the windows and looked at the people inside and was trying to get in. It eventually left before the cops got there. When the cops got there, their guns were drawn and they searched the area but found nothing. Marcella was scared by this and she was scarred. She had PTSD from this.
I can literally not. I don't even blame her.
She would not drive at night anymore.
Aw.
And she would hear wings flapping and like noises like that outside of her house. Stayed with her for quite a while.
Yeah, I bet.
So she thinks she'd hear the sounds, or maybe she did hear the sounds and was still following her.
Why do you think that would be the case?
Some think this is supernatural.
Well, what does that have to do with?
That it was like haunting you, is connected to you on like a spiritual energy level.
Like owls?
Owls are just flesh and blood creatures.
I know, but there's like some some things that say that owls, that it's like an omen.
Okay.
That something's happening.
In either December or November of 1966, I saw both months given. 14-year-old Faye Dewitt, her 16-year-old brother, and younger siblings were leaving the movies from Ohio when Faye's brother decided to drive them to the TNT area to prove that Mothman existed. He wanted to show to them that he was real. So, I've seen two accounts on how it started. One where they were parked and one where they were driving. But regardless, this fact is what's the same. Faye looks out the window and sees a 5-foot tall winged humanoid creature with deep red eyes that are like glowing. It was covered in feathers. It was whitish to tan in coloration, and it was either already chasing or it began chasing them, but nonetheless they were driving them at 50 miles per hour, and it was either following them in the sky or on the ground running. Which both are equally creepy as hell. Then, this is also where I saw two things. Either he tried to escape but hit a dead end, or he accidentally turned too sharp and the car stopped sideways on the road. Whichever happened, the creature then jumped on top of the car and peered into the car to look at them.
Wow.
Truck, sorry. It was on top of their truck. It was looking down and through the windows at them.
Can you literally just imagine how absolutely terrifying that had to be?
Yeah, that had to be actually
That's like
insane.
a huge fear of mine. Is that like I'm gonna look out the window of my vehicle or look out the window of our house and someone's just gonna be standing there staring at me.
And it'll be Mothman. The man, the moth, the legend.
Gross. Well, not him. He's chill. But you know what I mean.
Yeah. So, the creature then stood up on the car and then jumped off and went towards the North Power Plant, which they were near, where the car was stopped. So it got to the power plant, and it then leaped to the roof. That's a 3-story leap it made.
Wow.
It crouched on the edge of the building, similar to that of a gargoyle, gargoyle pose.
Yeah.
Faye's brother then took things into his own hands and got out of his truck and he started throwing coal and rocks at the creature. Talking about a 16-year-old kid throwing rocks and coal at what's presumed Mothman.
Truthfully, that sounds exactly what a 16-year-old would do.
So one of them got landed close to its feet and it turned sideways to look at them then, and then jumped off the building, spreading out its wings, which were like 5 to 6 foot wingspan, and then it flew off. Or no, I think it was 5 to 6 feet each wing, or 5 to 6 foot wingspan. I forget what it said. I should have actually noted that down.
I would feel like if it's 6 foot tall.
It would need a six. It would need a 12 foot, 10 to 12 foot wingspan.
Yeah, so that would make each wing.
Your wings need to be longer than you are.
Yeah, so that would make each wing about 6 feet.
So he flew off. And then one other one I wanted to say before we get into some more miscellaneous ones. This one I don't know the name or anything of it, but one of the teachers at the school my dad went to when he was a kid was a Mothman witness.
I love this story.
And we mentioned this a bit. I believe it was chasing him while he was driving in his car. But students would sometimes chase him around the school, yet chanting, "Mothman lives! Mothman lives!" Like how my dad does is like he raises his hand and goes, "Mothman lives! Mothman lives!" And he'll imitate it for me.
That's so horrible.
So, I I think my dad introduced me to actually one of the people who said that to the teacher one year at a golf tournament in his hometown.
Imagine being like known for that.
So, not many degrees of separation between us and somebody who has witnessed Mothman.
Not many.
So, you got my dad, the teacher, and then Mothman.
Yep.
That's crazy.
What is that? 3 degrees?
Yeah, I think 3 degrees, whatever. I don't know. Do we count as a degree?
I have no idea. Someone let us know.
Yeah, tell us how degrees work.
I have 2 degrees, but these are not the ones I have in.
Yeah, so besides my dad's teacher's story, those are probably the most notable sightings of Mothman, but I'll run over a few more out here.
Okay.
So on November 17th, which is 2 days after the initial sighting, a teenage boy saw a gray man-shaped bird with red eyes and a 10-foot wingspan pursue his car for about a mile as he was driving. The next day, 2 volunteer firefighters saw a large bird-like creature with red eyes in the TNT area as well.
Okay.
What were we going to say about the first one?
I was just curious, like, where in the sky it was following him at.
I don't know.
Like, floating right behind him, up in the air?
I think above the car.
Okay.
Let's see. On December 8th, 2 women saw a large shadowy figure with large red eyes on a hill. Didn't state what their names were. Where's this one? Sorry, I think I forgot to write this one down here actually, because it's about a year later. There's a group of like 4 guys who are hunting and they see it, and they're all too afraid to actually fire at it.
I would be too, because I feel like that's such a massive thing that, like, you have no idea what's coming at you if you shoot it and you miss. And you startle it.
Yeah. And that's actually like kind of crazy. Like, you see that, you don't know what to do, and like it's 4 male hunters in November 1967, so a year after. They saw a large gray figure with red eyes in Chief Cornstalk Park, and they were so frightened they didn't even think to use their rifles, and then it was gone.
Wow.
And on other things, so, Mothman adjacent, there are also people who were seeing UFOs and Men in Black. As I mentioned, John Keel, the author of the Mothman Prophecies, was a big investigator at this time. He had reports that somebody who was calling themselves his secretary was going around talking to people at this time, but it wasn't his secretary.
That's suspicious.
It was a fake secretary. A mysterious blonde woman claiming to be John Keel's secretary was visiting people in the West Virginia and Ohio area that he had been interviewing, and they were people that he had mentioned in his Princeton investigation and people that they didn't. He had kept private. And she was described as being blonde, southern accent, and appearing to be in her 30s. She had a clipboard with not only UFO sightings, but other questions, more intrusive to the families about like more personal things.
So they think she was a Men in
Men
Black.
in Black.
Ooh,
Yeah, isn't that a weird one?
that is weird.
So some other sightings that we had here, and I really wish I could go into like almost every single one because it would take a while. Some teenagers saw it perched on the edge of a quarry one night. A shoe salesman saw it fly straight into the sky, similar to other sightings, and then chase him down Route 62, so Interstate 62, as he drove. One man even saw Mothman in his yard and almost had a heart attack over the shock.
Wow,
Yeah. Yeah, isn't that crazy?
that is definitely crazy.
Now, one thing that helped with a lot of these sightings happening was that they there were a lot of people coming out. People were driving out from a while. John Keel drove out from New York to come see this.
Wow.
And you had sightings in Ohio and West Virginia, mostly in Mason County, around Point Pleasant. People saw anything from a big bird to a bird-like man, anywhere from like white hair, gray hair, feathers, hair, black, all various colors, all within like those same things. And on top of it, there is also poltergeist activity.
What?
Yep. So you remember the Scarberries? One of the two couples in the first sighting.
Mm-hmm.
That was let me go back. I believe that's Linda and Roger Scarberry. Let me see. Yep, Roger and Linda. They reported poltergeist activity then in their I believe they lived in a trailer at the time, but they had poltergeist activity after.
Wow.
And they ended up moving out because of it. Was the
Mothman
link
prophecies,
what,
man.
exactly, and that's where people started talking about, was this more than just like an actual creature, and was this paranormal? So, as we said, UFO sightings, Men in Black, big birds,
Big
poltergeist
Bird?
activity. Yeah, like Big Bird from Sesame Street was out there.
Big Bird, yellow, like on our game last night.
Oh yeah, that. We played Hughes and Q's, and Big Bird was a descriptor.
Yeah, apparently no one remembers.
No one remembers what color Barney is.
True.
That was there's some not ideal out there. Grass. What was the new one? Barney was the big one, and then grape
Grapes.
jelly. Goodness, we were all over the place last night with that game, but hey, I won. That's what matters. So right, all of the Mothman shenanigans came to an abrupt end, however, on December 15th, 1967. On that December day, people were going about their daily lives. People were going through their commutes, and some were doing their Christmas shopping for the season.
Don't wait until December 15th to do your Christmas shopping, everybody.
Well, people were going across the bridge that connected Point Pleasant and Gallipolis. I believe that's how you pronounce it. That's on the Ohio side of the river.
Okay.
Around 5 in the evening during rush hour, the bridge gave out. It collapsed, and 46 people lost their lives in the icy waters beneath the bridge.
Oh.
44 bodies were eventually recovered, and 2 were never found. The 44 that were found were all buried together in Gallipolis in a cemetery on the Ohio side.
Is there a reason for that?
I don't know.
Because, like, I would think that if they're from the other side.
I don't know. Maybe that's just a side they could recover them on. But with this bridge out, that was a major hub of transit because there's like it's dozens, I think almost 100 miles between them and the next bridge.
Wow.
Yeah, and after this happened, Mothman sightings basically went away. they're done with Mothman sightings.
Okay, connecting Mothman to the collapse of this bridge. What would that do for Mothman?
We'll go into that in some of the theories.
Okay.
And then we have one of the last sightings that night by the James Lilly family who lived in the TNT area. Saw 12 eerie lights that flashed above the house before disappearing. And then
12 eerie lights.
yeah.
Is that the first time that lights were mentioned?
Well, I didn't mention that. Well, no, the one where the Wamsleys at that house where the woman fell down with her kid. The guy, Raymond Wamsley, saw lights in the above the tree
right,
first,
right.
and then she saw a Mothman behind the car.
Okay.
So
does that give way to the alien theory?
Yeah, some of it does. And also, I said there are many UFO sightings. I really wish I could go over every single sighting here and just the good summarization, but that's going to take way too long. I do hope to re-explore Mothman at some point, but this is the type of thing that if we had the proper planning and weren't fighting some other personal battles right now, we would be able to make maybe a 2-3 parter on this, like many others did. Like I last year listened to the 3-parter by Astonishing Legends, and this year I listened to the 3-parter, each 2 hours long, of Cryptids of the Corns episodes on this.
I don't know that I've ever listened to a podcast on it, other than
Red Thread.
I was gonna say other than Red Thread.
And I listened to that last year. I've listened to a lot of Mothman recently. So, Mothman sightings kind of disappeared from here. Some people still claim to see him in the decades following, some in Chicago, some in Chernobyl, and some in other areas that had disasters. And sometimes people mention it after, like the Francis Scott Key Bridge. People claimed Mothman was there leading up to it.
Who said that?
You.
Yeah. That was one of the first things that I thought about.
Well, which I think that's it. People just like to correlate it now with everything.
Well, yeah, of course.
I'm a firm believer that Mothman was a one-off occurrence.
I'm not a firm believer.
All right, well, you do you.
Thank you, I will.
But many people did a lot of investigation into this, most notable being the Mothman Prophecies by John Keel. So that was investigation conducted by him, then eventually made into a book, and that was a huge summarization of like everything that happened. However, in John Keel's investigation, it talks a lot more about the creature and things that related to it. So he goes into Indrid Cold's connection to it, which Indrid Cold can be his own episode and topic. Because stuff that that's a multi-parter of this. Sorry, multi episode thing. Indrid Cold typically takes up a solid 45 minutes to an hour.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't even know that I've ever heard of that.
He came up in one of the cards on the conspiracy theory board game we have, and I was so happy when I got that one. I'm like, I know who Indrid Cold is.
Couldn't be me.
So the book goes into stuff like ultra terrestrials, which is I actually don't even fully understand ultra terrestrials, but the book, released in 1975, went over all of his investigations, a lot of his witness accounts, and a lot of his theories on what could have happened. I hope to read that someday. I could hopefully do a better analysis on this with that book, but I honestly have not as much time to read lately because a certain somebody keeps me up from reading. When I try and read,
me.
I know, but when I try and read, Atlas tries to take the book from me.
Yeah, he's like, no, thank you.
Yeah, so
no knowledge for you.
So I'm sorry, guys, if some of my quality has degraded here, but John Keel talked about people who had met with Indrid Cold. He was an alleged alien, also known as what?
An alleged alien.
Well, he's alleged to exist. What did he What do you not like about me saying that?
It's just funny to think that someone could be alleged alien.
Yeah, he's also known as the Grinning Man.
That's horrifying.
Yeah, he's a creepy fellow, I gotta say.
Ew.
And like, apparently, the more people saw him, the less human he was becoming. Like, it was almost like the facade was wearing off.
Literally, fuck that.
But the person who was meeting with Injured Cold, who reported this, eventually met with others and was informed that Injured Cold was killed by another alien race.
Who informed?
I don't know. I didn't really dive all into it because there's so much going on.
Maybe we should do that as an episode.
No. Oh yeah, yeah. Do you want to do Injured Cold or do you want me to?
You can do it. This is your area of expertise.
Sure, expertise. Let's put that loosely.
You'll be more of an expert
But
when you're done with that episode.
yeah, and we're the whole entire Mothman, like a omen for whether he was foretelling of it, causing it, or warning of it. A lot of this comes from the Mothman prophecies, which
Yeah.
would also later become a movie.
Oh, I didn't know it was a movie.
Yeah, the Mothman prophecies have been made into a movie.
What year?
I believe 2002.
Okay, so it might have decent graphics.
I don't think it's.
On a high budget.
I don't think it's like a very technical like movie like that. I don't know. Let me see. Where can you watch it? It is on Stars. Oh, it looks like you have to pay for it. Where unless we have Stars, but we don't have Stars.
Darn it. Also, in case anyone was curious, Frank and I did end up continuing to watch Tiger King last week after we talked about it on the episode.
And get this.
We left that in there, right?
What? Yeah. We also watched the Omen episode of American Dad.
It was stupid.
The kid's name was Nemo, which is Omen spelled backwards.
It was stupid. Funny though, but stupid. I will admit that my lips quirked up a little bit and some puffs of air came out of my nose.
What about when they shot the blind dog, the service dog?
That was just sad.
All right, back to this. So, the theory goes that Mothman was either either an omen in the sense of he was warning people that something bad was going to happen, causing something bad, or was just like a sign that something, like whether he's the cause, reason, or just there because something bad's happening.
Okay.
And
Do you have?
I won't go into other things, but some believe Mothman is a more terrestrial and realistic animal, like it's a freak accident from the chemical area, because it was hanging around the TNT area, an area heavy with chemicals and other items, we either left over from being the TNT factory or from the chemicals being kept there as waste.
No, there ain't no way that a 6 foot tall, 12-foot wingspan humanoid moth came out of that material.
Whoa. We never called him like a moth like thing, more bird like, but people called him Mothman.
Okay, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. With all this, the other theories is that Mothman may have been an alien, which gives credence to the Injured Cold idea that he was a being from another planet, or from the stars, or from another dimension. And that is what people point to is when you talk about those glowing lights in the sky, the UFOs being spotted, and the Men in Black. Like John Keel's follow the person who was following him and checking his sources, or like checking the people he's talking to. There's ideas that there were different types of Men in Black out there. There were your government type of Men in Black. There were your alien type of Men in Black. And then your like super secret, not government, but still human Men in Black. But a lot of people were getting reports from Men in Black. Even, trying to think of her name again. Marcella Bennett, the person that we talked about earlier, she had a hostile motorist that was wearing a bushy wig who followed her trying to push her off the road and block her path. And she eventually got away from him.
Jeez.
Mm-hmm. But he's wearing a bushy wig like he's trying to hide his appearance.
Does it disguise himself?
Yeah.
Or themselves or herself?
Yep. That was one thing that was described too. So what was happening there? Don't know. But something was definitely going on. And then there's the idea that it not necessarily being the other things that we think it could be. It was actually a cryptid bird, like the thunderbird.
Okay. I mean, I
Because
could see that.
if you look at it, a lot of these people will describe it bird-like.
Yeah.
If you look at the size of some birds, you definitely think they're a man standing.
What bird?
Thank you for asking. There's some types of eagles that are fairly large.
6 feet with 12-foot wingspans?
Not with that large a wingspan, but people are really bad at judging stuff that's flying above them.
It's 7 washing machines wide.
So, stuff like the California condor, which is not over there at all, like not over in West Virginia at all, it was a considerably large bird. The Stellar eagle, or I think it's the Stellar sea eagle, which is up in Alaska, is a large one.
So none of these even make sense
The
if they
golden
don't.
eagle, which it can be found in the area. I don't seldom, but however rare, they can get to the point where they can stand like I believe it's 4 to 5 feet tall potentially. I forget what the actual thing is. Actually, I'll be honest, I'm getting this from some of the cryptid forums I listen to, but they can be massive animals.
Still
Like,
not 6 feet tall.
yep, or it could be a great horned owl,
Also not 6 feet tall.
or
Where's the red eyes coming from in any of these?
light reflection,
Reflection or refraction?
refraction. I think actually is what it is. But no large animal like that has bioluminescence where eyes glow. So the belief that many is that it's the light is actually reflecting off, and that's
That
where you get the
or
glow. But if you ever look at like, for
where's
example,
the chemicals?
who knows? But like if you shine your light in the dark and you see like say a deer, the eyes like kind of shine.
Yeah.
But the eyes aren't glowing; it's reflecting your light.
Yeah, dog's eyes do that.
Yep. So that's
It freaks me out sometimes.
that's what the thought is. That's what it is instead, not the eyes actually glowing.
Oh, okay.
But a lot of people say it's red glowing eyes.
But like, what does that make? What color does that make the eye for it to reflect back red?
Well, it could be red light, like say from the brake lights from your car.
Okay. Was any of it in front of the car?
Yeah, but it could just be people misremembering. I mean, eyewitnesses are not that good.
Yeah, that I guess, or if they knew there was other sightings, they could make more things to connect.
Yep. Or now this is a popular one. It could be a sandhill crane, which is a popular theory of explaining it that it was really just a sandhill crane. You know what a sandhill crane looks like?
No.
So a sandhill crane can stand up to 6 feet tall and are found in the area when they migrate through there.
Are they double cheeked up on a Tuesday?
I do not think they are
They're not Mothman.
double cheeked up. That is a sandhill crane. See, there's red.
Yeah, I could see that being.
The belief is that there was a exceptionally large sandhill crane in the area.
Are they nocturnal?
That is how. No, but say if you catch it while it's not around people.
Maybe it was rabid.
Maybe it was rabid.
Can birds get rabies? Avian?
I don't know. But we're talking also about something that apparently chased the car at 100 miles per hour and kept up with it, and also picked up the body of a dead dog. Birds can't do that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, does that bird even fly?
Yeah.
Oh.
Sandhill crane does fly, but it can't pick up anything that big. I don't think there's any bird that can pick up anything that heavy.
Yeah, what kind of dog was it again?
A German Shepherd.
Yeah, those are pretty big.
Yeah.
75 pounds or so.
Yeah, and birds, if you know anything about flight, between birds, pterosaurs, and bats, your wings have to be very light.
I only know that because
I say it.
Yes, in reference to the pterosaurs from
Prehistoric Planet.
Prehistoric Planet. What are they? Quetzalcoatlus?
Quetzalcoatlus and Hatzegopteryx.
I got one. That's pretty good for me.
Yep, the two largest animals.
That's the big word for Elmo.
They, despite being the size of a giraffe, are, I believe, roughly like 300 to 500 pounds. Which, if you think about it, That's not much.
I mean, if something had a big body like that, then I can imagine why the wingspan would have to be so large. Like the 12-foot wingspan.
Yeah. It's I forget what the
Like to hold all
term
that,
is.
be able to hold that muscle up. It's just interesting to me that it doesn't have to flap its wings to take off. It can just launch.
Yeah, which is something that shouldn't occur. But a
Yeah.
quadriceps size of a giraffe is 440 to 550 pounds. You have to have hollowish bones and a very light structure to be able to fly at that size. Hence why a lot of dragons are unrealistic. What?
Not in fourth wing. Those are realistic.
Yeah, sure they are. But
Terran is huge.
the main theory that a lot of skeptics point to is that Mothman is a sandhill crane.
I mean, I could see how that fits, especially with the red on the top.
Yeah. I mean, it's 6 feet tall, it's large, but
It's gray,
yep,
and in the dark it would look
it's
darker.
feathery. That's why a lot of people point
I
to
guess the
birds.
only thing I would say is the feathery down the legs would be different.
Yeah. But all because people started calling it Mothman, we've turned it more into a moth like looking creature.
Who
But you
is
look at,
double cheeked up on a
yep.
Tuesday?
But if you look at all the sightings and all the reports, it's more bird like than anything. This is a bird looking thing.
Like, how long would that make the legs then?
Regular leg size, like man size? Or what are you talking about? I don't get what you're talking about.
Well, like, not all birds have legs that are proportionally sized to their body.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
Like
saying.
sandhill cranes have longer ones. There's also a belief that it was just also a large heron in the area, but I'd give more credence to the sandhill crane
Why is that?
because the sandhill crane matches the color description and is larger.
Okay.
But the issue we have here is if you look at some of these cases, you're just showing me the cheeked up Mothman.
I was looking to see if the butt of the Mothman was different in color to see if people were touching it.
Oh, I believe it is. But we can go into that later.
Okay, sorry.
But crap, where was I at?
That it could be
Oh yeah, no,
sandhill crane, but it also could be a heron, but you don't think it is.
but one thing that's interesting is you look at two of the accounts that we talked about, the Wamsley and the let's look at two accounts real quick. The Wamsley one and the oh crap, what was the other family? Um, and the Dewitts. They got very close up to the creature. They described it very thoroughly as man-sized or like man-shaped. And that's where I find it interesting is we have people who were in both those cases there was multiple witnesses and all of them described a man-like creature with feathers
Hmm.
with glowing red eyes. So we got to think here there are people seeing this up close with very descriptive descriptions of it. I know that's a dumb thing to say, but like they're vivid descriptions.
Okay.
They're detailed. That's the word I was looking for. I don't think they'd be saying a sandhill crane with what they're describing here.
Yeah. Hmm.
Now, what? Sorry, I'm kind of rambling here because I didn't write much of a script for this for the sake of time. But what are your thoughts on what we're talking about here? What Mothman might be?
Um, that's so hard because I I can definitely give credence to it being a large bird, but I just don't know that the United States has a bird that would fit the qualifications of this. Um,
Anywhere in the world, the United States has the best chance of having a bird that fits these qualifications.
really?
Yes,
Why?
birds like the great horned owl, like the larger great horned owls, the larger golden eagles, the stellar sea eagle, the California condor. I mean, those are North American birds. The only bird similar might be the Andean condor, but all the other large birds are typically in North America, actually.
That's news to me. Um, I don't know. Honestly, I prefer the description of it being as a Mothman rather than as a Birdman.
Yeah,
Birdman sounds stupid, but
well,
Mothman sounds
well, if
dope.
you think about it, like we can still call it Mothman, but there's nothing moth about this man.
No, and the wings that they give it on the statue look more like butterfly wings, and that's
Yeah,
not what I picture.
that. Well, that's a lot of artists, liberty on that one.
That's not what I picture when I think of Mothman's wings. I think of them more like an owl's wing or like an eagle, where like when they open it up, they have all of the like feathers, right? It's not like wings that come out the back.
That's how moth wings are.
I know, but that's not how I picture him.
Well, you hating on the moth qualities.
Like I picture Mothman more as like
Bird,
its arms,
like Birdman.
Yeah, it's
so now we're going back to Birdman, despite you attacked Birdman.
Well, yeah, but like if they're describing it as a bird, that's why I see it more as a bird. Like as its front legs or its arms.
Well, no,
or its
in
wings.
all of these, it still has its front arms. The wings are like drawn back on its like back.
It just doesn't. It doesn't jive with
Hey,
me.
you know what that means?
It can still beat the shit out of somebody.
Sure, but it has 2 arms, 2 legs, 2 wings. That's 6 limbs. Insect. You see a dragon?
I.e. moth.
You see a dragon? 2 legs, 2 wings, 2 arms. Insect.
I just think of the dragon from Shrek when her wings are like itty bitty.
But insect there. Wings are typically, unless you're an insect, wings are limbs when it comes to vertebrae.
So then why was he described more as a bird? I'm getting confused.
Because he had like more bird-like attributes with feathers.
So maybe it's just a weird ass
wings.
cross between a bird and a moth. I don't know.
Well, they called it Mothman just because of the Batman villain in the comics.
Imagine being so cool that your comics like help develop a cryptid that like lives on in legends.
Yeah, no one knows who the fuck Killer Moth is.
I do now.
I don't think Killer Moth has been used too much. I mean, I think he was in Teen Titans and the original Batman comics. But like, man, dude looks goofy as fuck. Here, Sage.
I can't see, your computer sucks.
Well, it's not loading.
Why don't I just look at him? What's his name?
Killer Moth.
Killer. That says Miller.
There it is. What's his middle name? I don't fucking know.
No, it said that says Miller.
Oh. What do you think?
I feel like I've seen the green version of him.
I don't think I've seen it anywhere. Only looks like in everything I've seen in comics and not in any like regular media.
Come on, that's badass.
But
this one's fucking hilarious though. Yeah, I feel like I've definitely seen that. Second of all, this man's packing.
Oh my god. Okay, so let's go back into more serious topic.
Okay.
What do you think it is? Do you think it's a being from another dimension, an alien?
I think it's a cryptid.
Or is it a ghost? Because we did talk about the poltergeist happening.
I think it's a cryptid. I think it's a cryptid who I do agree with the prophecies though. I am of the belief that the Francis Scott Key Bridge, there had to be some Mothman sightings.
I've seen no Mothman sightings before.
I know, someone's hiding it. If you saw Mothman before the Francis Scott Key Bridge collapsed, got hit and collapsed, report it so that we can have evidence of this connection. But I wanted to ask, so when I was just looking up the, what's his name?
Batman villain?
Killer Moth. Do you picture his wings like butterfly wings, or do you picture them like thin and skinny?
I don't know. Why?
I'm just curious because like there's a lot of different depictions. Are they feathery? Or are they more like an insect?
Like, are you talking Mothman?
Yeah.
I see it more feathery.
So kind of like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the one from Teen Titans.
I used to love Teen Titans.
What?
I used to love Teen Titans.
Same. That was a classic when I was a kid. Or when we were kids. I don't think I could ever go around dressed up like Killer Moth like that guy. Power to him then. Alright. Back to the actual episode. What do you think, Moth? So you think it's like a cryptid?
Yeah.
Now,
It's like a Bigfoot to me.
all right, one thing is Mothman doesn't always fit like the cryptid thing because I sometimes am a bit more hardline on cryptozoology to the Bernard Quavelman's definition that's unknown animal, something more like animal, and this seems more, in my opinion, alien. Between the UFOs, injured cold, the lights.
It does give Predator vibes, isn't he? An alien?
Yeah. But is that because I watched the Predator Killers of Killers?
No, I was just
Okay.
picturing when the guy's running through the forest after Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like I was picturing his like suit and then his long hair, and he's like all gray.
I don't see the Predator and
Didn't
Mothman,
he have
but
red eyes?
yeah. Oh no, I don't know if his eyes are red, but he had the red light that he shined on people when he's about to gun them down. I also just watched Killer of Killers, the new animated Predator movie, and I thought that was good. If anyone's seen Prey, that's a phenomenal Predator movie. Yeah, that's not a red eye. That's the trait.
I
That's the
know, but like
tracker.
that gives me
Mothman vibes.
yeah.
I don't know. I get Mothman vibes. But Predator, I'm happy you watched that movie with me too. That was a good one. That's a classic. That's top 10 movies for me easily.
Everybody should tell Frank that he owes me
Documentaries.
watching a good rom com or two, or even like I don't even know something that's not
They're
The
all the same.
Descent or
They're
friggin'
all the
Predator or Alien or
yeah.
Alien versus Predator.
All those movies are different. We have not watched Alien vs Predator or the first Alien.
I don't wanna. I watched you try to play that game and it freaked me out.
Which game?
Wasn't there a game where isn't the alien like tall and black and he
Yeah.
has the like curve on the head? You played like a video game on there where you had to like you were a little person who had to like go through the different rooms or whatever.
Oh yeah, that was a weird one. I didn't care for that.
Yeah, but like even that freaked me out.
Oh.
No, thank you. I don't need to feel like I'm being chased. Okay, I already feel like I'm being chased all the time.
All right.
Okay.
Well, back to this. So you're on the team Cryptid. I'm on team Alien for Mothman.
Well, maybe one day we will find out exactly
Yeah.
what it is.
Now let's get into more of the broader discussion of Mothman. So I'm going real quick. Yeah, sorry, you guys, if this episode wasn't as Mothman as you wanted.
What do you mean?
Mothman's a huge topic that we could go so much more into.
Yeah, but I mean, I think that this is a good overview of it. We've already discussed
Yeah, the
doing
major things.
like a larger.
Like
And we
how
don't
I
have a
need to.
puppy that needs a lot of attention.
Yeah, I'm trying to do not as intensive topics. That's why I did Bradford Bishop recently. My Mapinguari episode was not ideal. That's why I did also the Ahul, Stanley Hotel, Kecksburg. I could easily revisit because that one I realized there's more than I thought. But like Roswell, Mapinguari, and Mothman, I probably want to revisit all three eventually.
Yeah, we'll have time.
But in conclusion, in between 1966 and 1967, a strange creature known as Mothman was sighted in the Point Pleasant area in the greater Mason County area. What was it? Was it an alien, a ghost, a supernatural being, a run-of-the-mill cryptid, and mutation from the TNT area? We'll never know, as we have not been seeing Mothman often since the Silver Bridge collapse. A tragedy that sadly took the lives of 46 individuals.
Oh, it's 2 not being found.
Yep.
That's a shame.
To this day, nobody knows what truly happened that night. Maybe some do, especially with those Men in Black sightings, and maybe they were silenced. But we'll never know. Now, you ready to get into the more fun part of Mothman?
Hit us with it.
The pop culture! So, Mothman is something that, I mean, you all should know. And if you don't know, congrats. How's that rock you're living under? That was a good one.
That was a good one.
Please let us know if you're listening from Iraq. But Mothman has permeated much of the culture of the world. It has its own festival, the Mothman Festival, held the third weekend of September every year. We should look into going this year potentially.
I think I'm gonna wear my Mothman shirt tomorrow.
But the Mothman Festival happens every year in Point Pleasant. It is a huge part of the economy. So this festival started in 2002 after the Mothman Prophecies movie. This town of 4,000 people, how many people do you think descend on it every year?
Isn't it like a couple 100,000?
10,000 people.
Oh wow, I was way off.
It's the most successful cryptid festival, according to J.W. Ocker. The most successful in the country, which I think he's right. I mean, this town, I have to say, it is most likely, like the economy. I just dropped my book. Whoops. I'm going to keep that in so you all have to hear it. The economy is basically propped up on Mothman. They have Mothman themed things in the area. There is a Mothman museum there. There are pizza places that also have Mothman in it. I mean, the Mothman branding is everywhere there. Like for stuff, there is there is Mothman Blacklight mini golf that is in Point Pleasant, West Virginia. You have Men in Black, UFOs, and various other things there. Got, as I said, Mothman Museum. I believe there's a Mothman Pizzeria. I'm actually looking up right now because I actually didn't take a look at it. But there's Mothman like everything there. You got your statue, your museum. You have a Mothman escape room. You have a Mothman mural, Mothman golf. What's the scoop? A cryptid and like Mothman themed ice cream place.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, man, Mothman is a huge thing. The Point Pleasant, West Virginia official website has Mothman referenced in it. And that's only a fraction of the pop culture. As I said, The Mothman Prophecies is a book written in 1975 by John Keel. It was then released as a movie in 2002. In 2010, Sci-Fi Channel released a horror movie based on Mothman. I remember watching it as a kid. It's pretty cheaply made, like many sci-fi movies back then. Uh, United States Geographical Survey had Mothman in it at one point. Planting native plant, and there's a picture of it on Wikipedia, where it's a picture with a text on it saying planting native plants provides foods and habitats for many species of pollinators, including Mothman.
Hmm.
So, according to the United States Geological Survey, Mothman is a pollinator. So, make sure you plant native plants for him. So, also, Mothman appears in many forms of art, whether it's on shirts, like how Sage and I both have Mothman shirts. He also appears as an enemy in Fallout 76, along with many other cryptids, such as the Grafton Monster, Sheep Squatch, um, the Jersey Devil, various other cryptids are all there. I think Atlas might start eating, so he might be crunching back there. Magic the Gathering has a card referencing Mothman. There is, I think I forget if I mentioned it fully, but there is, as we've talked about many times, the Mothman statue in Point Pleasant that is cheeked up. I mean, that thing, oh my god, that thing is cheeked up. Whatever artist made that, he really had a lot of discretion on that. You have no idea how many people have pictures of them grabbing its ass.
That it's like hilarious, but also not hilarious.
Not still funny, but that Mothman is
But
not.
hold on. Before we go forward with that, okay? Before we go forward with that, and the only thing that I can say is that when you look at statues of women whose breasts are out in some kind of way or something like that, like especially when they're the type of statue where like human touch changes the color of it.
You can see where people touch.
Yeah, and they're almost always violating them.
Yeah.
So like while it's hilarious, I also kind of view it in a similar sense of like, are we not obviously it's a statue, but like is it it just feels wrong. Like that we're like violating him. And like it's I don't know, it's just weird to me.
The reason I'm more okay with that versus other is because it's Mothman. But it has
Yeah.
big wings, a big scary face, more like a moth, which is not what people described, and cheeked up and muscular. He's ripped.
He's ripped.
I mean, man, have you seen that thing?
Yeah. I was looking it up earlier.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking up real quick just to show a picture for myself. The Mothman statue. I mean, dude has a six pack. He got gutters. He got gutters on that chest.
That is how my books describe it.
Yeah, that's how the first time I ever heard it was Rick and Morty, and they kept referring to it as that on one episode. But yeah, that Mothman is ripped. He's swole. He's hitting the gym regularly.
That's so funny.
But yeah, Mothman is just about everywhere. I mean, he has his own festival, which is insanely popular. I mean, there's even podcasts that take his name, like the Moth Boys podcast. But yeah, there's so much more to Mothman in popular culture. I mean, you don't have to look far for it. Various documentaries on it, various cryptid finding shows on it. I mean, you name it, it's there. Mothman is um, all throughout stuff, throughout pop culture. And with that being said, yeah, I don't think I really have much more on this stage. So, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, I gave some of my
Actually,
thoughts
no.
earlier, but
Yeah, you already did. So let me give you this. I haven't done this in a while, and I need to be doing this more. Out of 10 cheeked up Mothman statues, do you rate the Mothman?
14.
14 out of 10 cheeked up Mothman statues?
I love Mothman.
All right. I'll rate him a 6.5 cheeked up. The half is only one cheek. I want to believe that there is something there like alien, but I don't. I mean, it's all over the place. I don't even know what to believe. The more I read into it, the more I get confused.
I want to believe. And so I'm sticking with my 14.
All right.
Atlas agrees with my 14. Atlas, if you agree, keep eating. Oh, he's eating still.
Wow, what a cheap way to do it.
Sorry if you can hear Atlas chewing in the background. That's annoying for you.
Yeah. All right, so that should be it then for today.
All right.
The only thing I have to say is if you guys are liking the podcast, please, go like, comment, review, rate on whatever you listen on. Every little bit helps. I've been seeing we get more followers now.
Mm-hmm.
You guys should totally be rating because I'm seeing you all out here. I don't see who rates, but I'm seeing you guys. So the more we get, the better. I do appreciate all you new people coming along, and sorry if this Mothman episode is underwhelming.
I don't think it was underwhelming.
No, I think I could have done better after I just listened to a 7-hour Mothman stuff from Cryptids of the Corn. It kind of put mine to shame while I listened to it.
That's okay. We'll come back better.
But yeah, that's yeah. So follow us on whatever. Go check us out on our socials, on our Blue Sky and our Instagram, and follow us there. Comment whatever you like to think on this stuff, and yeah, that's about it for that. And I don't have any events to promote this time. So, all right, that's it then for today. So, Sage, you ready for the roundup?
Yep.
And remember
to look for
the unknown,
the unsolved,
and the unseen.
Keep your eyes out for Mothman.
Bye, guys, and keep your catalytic converters safe from the Mothman.